Let's go back to our presentation and take a look at other properties related to the appearance of the text on our website. The text indent property is responsible for indenting the text on its first line. Then each paragraph, which would be a p tag for example, will have such an indentation in the first line. As you can see on this slide, the indentation can also be negative. The text align property has default value to left. We can change it to right, center, or justify. It determines the arrangement of the text in a certain element. Here you can observe the text alignment with different values for the text align property: left, right, center, and justify. Another property is text transform. We shouldn't use uppercase in HTML. All the appearance issues should be handled by CSS. In the HTML tags, the text should always be spelled with the first letter in the sentence as uppercase and the rest in lowercase. Sometimes, for example, we want to use all capital letters in a header or a button, and then we should use the text transform property. The uppercase value changes all the letters to uppercase. The lowercase value does the opposite. And the capitalized value uses an uppercase letter at the beginning of each word. Now let's talk about the line height property. This property makes the text readable. It consists of the size of the font and the free space above and below the text. Therefore, in practice, it is the space between the lines of the text. And this space can be freely increased or decreased using the line height property. If we don't specify the line height property for our element, the default value will be around 150 or 120%, depending on the font used. Here you can see the line height property in practice. In the first paragraph, the line height property is default. In the second, it is larger, and in the third, it is the largest, which we can see with the naked eye. The line height property is responsible for determining the gaps between lines in a certain element. We can use different units to write the value for this property: pixels, percentages, or even we can leave the numerical value without the unit. Percentages and unitless value will always refer to the font size of that specific element. Everything that is written on this slide will have the same effect. Note, however, that the M unit for the line height property does not refer to the parent size, but to the font size of this particular element. So if we want to avoid any confusion, it is better not to use the M unit in this property. The line height property can also be used to center the text in the element. If the text consists of only one line, then it is enough to specify the line height with the same value as the height of the element. Additionally, we can use the text align center property, and our text will be perfectly centered in our element. This is useful among other things with the buttons. We won't use the vertical align property very often, but it's worth knowing. Its default value is baseline. This is useful when we have the elements of different sizes in one line, and we want to align them to the bottom or the top of the line, as you can see on this slide. Finally, a shortened entry, which you can also encounter. It defines many different properties about the font. However, only two are necessary: font size and font family. I show you this because you may come across such a notation in the code. But for now, that's it for the properties of the font. Let's move on to the further topics.